Okay, I'm back. And I'm going to continue on with plastic surgery. But this time I'm covering all the plastic surgery that I've seen just on Instagram alone. And I researched some of it, looked it up. Okay, so let's talk about Courtney Cox, who I think is just absolutely gorgeous and always has been. And she is like 56 years old. She looks amazing. And yeah, she's had some work done. And she's talked about it openly and said that she didn't really like what she had done. You know, that she kind of overdid it on the Botox. And so she says that now she doesn't do it anymore. But I don't believe that. I think she still does. But that's okay. This isn't a sin. I'm not bashing these people for doing it. I'm just showing you what it looks like. And some people overdo it. And so I don't know. I guess I wish I lived in a world where we could just all look the way we look. And obviously we can't. And so let's look at some of the people who have a lot of pressure on them in the business. God, that business. It's not just the business, because I see old high school friends that have had quite a bit of work done. And they don't look like the same people. And I don't know, I just find it really sad. But this is the time. And so I'm not against it, as I said. I think there's some really great surgeries, and I'm going to show that too. People who have had surgery, but it's just seamless. It doesn't even look like they've had anything done. And they know better than to overdo it. They know that just less is more. So I'm going to cover Courtney Cox, and I'm going to cover Megan Fox. Ooh, that kind of rhymes a little bit. Yeah. I love her as far as I think she's beautiful and always has been. Even before the surgery, she was already just hot. And it's nice to see her kind of happy right now because, I don't know, people that know me know what I'm talking about, but I feel like she's in a really good place and she seems happy in herself. And it seems like she's kind of stopped with the needles. You know, she's kind of let up on that and she's looking more authentic. And so I'm going to show you before and afters of both of them first. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, it's very mild. There's really not any extreme altercations except maybe the lips. I think that I think there's a lot of injections, and whether it be the lips, whether the cheeks, the chin, the forehead, it really does have to do with that. I don't know if that I would do that myself. I think I would look ridiculous with big lips. And I want to be able to move my face and go, you know, and show that I have lines. I got lines on my face. I don't know. But that's okay. These are actresses. They have to keep up an appearance, especially when they're known for, like Megan, she's known for being a sex symbol. And she has to stay sexy. But I think what's the sexiest thing about her is her happiness right now. I didn't really get into her movies. I didn't really watch anything that she's been in, to be honest with you. And it's mostly just the publicity she got. And that's what I was seeing. And so, yeah. Okay. And as far as Courtney, she's 56. And she has been so beautiful for so long, and I have watched her. And Friends wasn't my favorite show, but I would definitely watch it. And I always thought she was so beautiful and so naturally funny. She just had the best comic timing. She still does, I think. Haven't seen her in anything in a while. But I could understand why she's had some work done. So, there you go. Okay, so we're going to talk about Ashley Judd and Daryl Hannah. And both of these actresses we have not seen in a while. And I don't know if it's due to the plastic surgery. I don't know if they've had too much and that's why they can't get work. You have to be very careful. It's a very slippery slope. You know, a little bit, yeah, less is more, less is more. So I think that Daryl Hannah has always been so beautiful and adorable, really. You know, she wasn't too beautiful to where she was like off-putting, but she wasn't unattractive, obviously. She's just one of those people that just glowed. And the long blonde hair, and she's super tall, and you know, she's beautiful. But yeah, she's had some work done, and it's disappointing because I've always liked her just the way she was, and I don't think she looks like herself anymore. And if I saw her on the street, I probably wouldn't recognize her. And Ashley Judd, I was a fan of hers back in the day. You know, she was that like action chick. She did action movies, and she was always busting some guy's balls and looking for her kid or her husband that's in hiding. I don't know, but she was awesome. And she kind of, you know, did some shit to her face, and I don't know. I think when you're an actress and you're looking for the perfect plastic surgery, you kind of have to do your research, and you have to go through all of the doctors and look at their before and afters. And I don't know, sometimes I think that most of them go to the same doctors and then they get the same look, the same plastic look. And then it's like too late, you can't go back. Once you fuck your face up, you can't really go back. You're fucked. It's done. You're done. There's nothing else you could do. And so you have to be very careful. And so I would probably, if I was going to do it, I'd probably start very small, you know, by getting maybe like a few little injections, you know, just a few. And if I didn't like them, they wear off. So it's like, okay, that was fun, I guess. You know, but as I said, I don't like needles. So I'd have to be drugged up and just out of it. Even then, I would be screaming if a needle was coming towards my head. So looking young forever is just out for me. I'm just... Within the next decade, it's just going to be over for me, and that's okay. But also, cheekbones. People are getting either fat put in or taken out or raised. I don't know. I think that's what Megan did. She kind of raised everything up. And by the way, she didn't need to. She's in her 30s. I think she's 36. She's so young. And she really didn't need anything. Yeah, her lips were thin like mine. She had those, you know, thin lips naturally. They looked fine. She was gorgeous. I mean, her body is perfect. I think she had her boobs done. That's okay. You know, boobs, nose, what have you. Sometimes you have to have it done. Just for self-esteem reasons, I think, mostly. Okay, so those are the people that I'm talking about. And Daryl Hannah and Ashley Judd, I miss them in movies. I miss them so much. And I feel like no one's hiring them. And that's unfortunate. Okay, let's move on to the next. Let's see who I got coming. Okay, the next ones are really, really subtle. And it's, Christina Ricci, who I think she just had her nose done, and it looks really good. And like I said, it's seamless. You can't really tell that she's had anything done. And she's always had really big boobs. They're real. And Marilyn Monroe, old school. I think she had her nose done and maybe her lips. And I hear that she had other things done as well, but I don't know. To me, she looks the same, but just with more makeup back then. Obviously, she's passed now, a long time ago. But what I'm saying is in the picture, I think that she pretty much looked the same, but just had a little tweaking here and there. Very subtle. And, she's gorgeous. And then there's the Hadid sister. I don't know her first name. I can't. All I know is that her mother was a supermodel and her dad's just super freaking rich. And she's beautiful. I mean, both her and her sister, Bella, I know her sister, Bella. They're beautiful girls. I don't know that they would have made it in that industry if it wasn't for their name. Who knows? But I know that they're both beautiful women. They both have had surgery. I'll do a show on them next. I'll show you what they've done and what they haven't done. They're both really tall and beautiful women, and they would have been models, obviously. But it just makes me sad that none of these celebrity children are kind of going to school and doing something bigger with their lives. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I'll get into that. I'll do a whole show on that. And then Dolly Parton. Love her, love her, love her. Always have. Yeah, you could tell she's had surgery, but she's also like 70-something, and she admits her surgery. She owns it. She's like, yeah, I've had it. So she's one of the sweetest, most talented, most beautiful human beings ever. And she's really proud of her surgery, and good for her. I don't think there's anything wrong with what she's done to her face or her body, and especially because she owns it. She doesn't lie like the Kardashians, where they're like, no, we haven't had anything done. Bullshit. Fuck you. We know you have. I don't like people who lie about it. You just own your shit. Just own it. We could see the before and afters. We're not stupid. Okay, and Latoya Jackson. I didn't really think that she had anything done. I didn't really pay attention to her in that regard. And then it came up when I was looking for before and afters. And yes, it looks like she's had quite a bit done, just like, the rest of the family. Not the whole family, but like, a few members of the family. And it's mostly her nose. She got her nose done. Probably her, I don't even know how you do that. The cheeks and the chin. She has something done right here. It used to be wider. Just like her brother, it's that whole part right here. But she's like the sweetest thing ever. She's just a sweetheart. When you hear her talk, you could just feel how beautiful she is inside. And maybe she didn't feel so good about herself when she was younger. And so I don't think nose jobs are bad. Growing up, I knew so many people who had them. And I probably would have gotten one as well if my nose was really big. Just for self-esteem reasons, or maybe not. There's some people that rock their nose, and maybe I would have been one of those people. I don't think looks have anything to do with self-esteem. I think they're two separate things. I think you really have to love yourself inside first. And I've been on both ends of that, where I've been very, very insecure and felt like I had to do a lot to myself to make myself feel better, or to dress a certain way. And I think we all go through that, in my 20s or what have you. I had to have I had to have a tan, and I had to wear cute little outfits, and I had to be like, 80 pounds and skinny, and, but that was also a thyroid thing that I didn't know I was going through. And now I'm at this place in my life where I feel the most confident that I ever have. And I do have weight on me, and I do have wrinkles, and I do have adult acne, and my lips are thin, they are. Who cares? Yeah, there's things that, if I was an actress, There's things that I would go, oh God, I better change this because I won't get work. But the truth is, I probably wouldn't do that. You know, I would just work it and I would play the older character. And they're trying to play the characters they played when they were younger. And they're not in that place anymore, mentally or physically. So they kind of have to move on. And I'll show you examples of that as well. Because there is great actresses there, you know, that play their age. You know, they play the grandma, or they play the mom of 3 with grandchildren, what have you. They own it, and that's what you kind of have to do. And it sucks because everything's HD now, so the camera just like zooms in and then picks out all your flaws. And I hate that. It's horrible. That's why I'm sitting so far away from the camera. Okay, so let's go on. I'm going to show you some just disasters, just absolute crazy disasters. And it makes me sad and scared. And if I ever saw these women in person, oh, and some of these women are women I actually adore, like Goldie Hawn. Oh my God, love her. But why? Why did you do that to your face? Yeah, well, we're getting there. All right, put a little something something on my face, and I'm going to drink some water, and let's get into it. All right, let's talk about Kim Novak. She was the it girl back in the day, and she was so beautiful and just wow. And now she's unrecognizable. And I've heard people talk about her at award shows. You know, sometimes she'll be there and they'll be like, "Oh, have you seen Kim Novak?" And I don't even know who she is, honestly. But I do know that she was very hot back in the day, and now she's had a lot of work done. And yeah, I don't really watch award shows, but when I do, I'll catch something like that, and then I'll be like, wow, that's some work. That's some hardcore work. But I think she's like 80, you know, and I think there's that pressure. There's so much pressure in that business to just be young and beautiful. And like I said before, you just have to go with it. You have to move forward and play your age. And just worry about the people in your life that love you and think you're beautiful regardless. You know, don't worry about Hollywood. Okay, and then there's the cat Lady Socialite. I don't know her name, but I think it's listed. But they call her the cat lady. And she was married to a very rich man, obviously. And he told her, don't get any more surgeries or I'm going to divorce you. And she did. And he divorced her. But she got a lot of money, and now she has a fiance that's using her for that money. But what she did with it is work on her face, thinking it looked good, and now she looks like, I think she scares me. She's monstrous, and then maybe not as a person, I don't know. But she claims, this is what's so funny, is that she claims that she's had no work done. She said, you look it up, yeah. She's like, I haven't even had any work done, you know, and I think she had claimed that she had like Botox and that's it, or something to that effect. But whew, if you look at the before, she was so beautiful, just naturally beautiful woman. Okay, so there's her. Little Kim, girl, why? I love you. I love your music. What the fuck? Don't know. She had her eyes, her lips, her cheeks, everything except that mole right here. I don't know if it's real or not. I've had one right here, right above my lip. And throughout time, it's faded. You know, so I don't really enhance it or what have you. I used to when I was younger. I'd put a little extra something right there. And I have moles that have gone away. There was one right here. There was one right here. And now they just look like pimples. Eventually I'll have to go get them lasered off or something, and that scares the shit out of me. Okay, so there's Little Kim. I've written them all down because I just blasted you with a whole bunch of different women. Janice Dickinson, the first supermodel, supposedly. I think it was more like Twiggy or someone like that. Or Gia. I think Gia was probably the first official supermodel. And you know, that's a tragic story. So tragic. But I think she's one of the most beautiful women ever. And Janice came along, and she looked so much like her that they called her Little Gia. And I think they called, who is she? The one with the mole? I'm so bad with names. They called her Little Gia as well. All right, so Janice Dickinson has been through hell and back in her life in general. She was molested as a child. She was severely abused by her father. And who knows what happened to her in that business. Because that was before the Me Too movement. And there were certain things that were acceptable back then that would never be acceptable now. Ever, hopefully. I'm hoping that things have changed. But I think that she took that all out on herself and her face. And I know that she's been on and off the wagon. And she's had a lot of issues in her life. But, you know, she used to have that, you know, that cute little pout. Her lips were just like little pillows, like, you know, like Angelina Jolie. She had the perfect lips. And now they're like from here to here, you know, like the Joker. I don't know why she did that. I don't know. But I think she's, like I said, she externalized all the inner turmoil and maybe messed her face up. And that's unfortunate. But, that's what happens sometimes. Goldie Hawn, why, girl? Why? She's somebody that I absolutely adored growing up as a kid. And her and Melanie Griffith and Meg Ryan, let's talk about all three of them. They all are women that dominated the 70s and 80s, and they were all so beautiful and perfect and bubbly and just, I wanted to be them, and everyone wanted to be them, and every guy wanted to date them because they were down to earth and cool and sexy at the same time, and they all fucked their faces up, and who knows why. I think it's the pressure of Hollywood for sure, and I think there's too many yes men around them, like I said, about certain people of power. There wasn't anyone around them that was like, no, you don't need that. But I think the industry was like, oh, yes, you do. We have HD now. We have HD, and we're going to see all your flaws. And we're not going to cast you anymore in those roles that you used to get. And that's the problem, is that there's not enough roles for women over 50 or what have you, unless they're like the grandma. There's no like sexy, cool roles. They're coming around though now. I feel like they're coming around, especially with Netflix and Amazon and all these places that are opening up opportunities for women of a certain age and allowing them to be who they are. So that's good. But those three right there really get me, and it hurts my soul because I'm so fond of them. Just growing up as a kid, looking up to them, and especially Meg Ryan. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on with her face. I love her son though. I love his work. I love the show. But Meg, I miss them all. I miss all three of them in movies. And Goldie manages to still work on occasion. And to me, she'll always be beautiful. She has an awesome body. She always has, even at her age. She still, works it. So there's that. Okay, Lindsay Lohan. Oh my God. Why? She's like 32. I don't know how old she is, but she's very young. And she was beautiful, naturally. She had naturally just red hair, blue eyes, freckles, gorgeous body. Just everything about her was just so natural and beautiful and just appealing, and approachable. And now she looks like she's like 63 years old. I don't know why she did that. I have no idea. And her whole story is just very strange to me. Because she lives in Dubai, and I think she's being given credit cards by princes in Dubai. And it's weird. The whole situation with her is strange to me. And it fascinates me, but strange, and kind of makes me sad. Okay, so there's that. Laura Flynn Boyle. Love her. She was in Twin Peaks. She was kind of it in the 80s as far as, that type of a brunette is, someone like me, someone that I can't explain it, but I adored her. I loved her. I wanted to be her. I was like, oh God, I would love to be her. She is just perfect, and she gets the best roles. And then she fucked her face up, and she hasn't worked since. And it's unfortunate because naturally she was so beautiful, and she can't go back. Okay, let's talk about Donatella Versace. I think the death of her brother really messed her head up, which naturally it would. He was murdered, and it was horrible and a complete nightmare. And she's very powerful because she had to take over this dynasty. And the pressure probably was just extreme. And so she has a lot of yes men around her. People that no real friends, I don't think. Because if she had real friends, they would say, girl, no. No more work on your face. No, you don't need those lips. No, don't do it. You look beautiful just the way you are. And now she kind of looks like a sea creature. I don't know. A sloth, maybe? No, sloths are really cute. I love sloths. I can't think of what she reminds me of. But she scares the fuck out of me. There was this picture of her coming out of the water in like Cannes or something, and she was all wet and just it was just scary. I was scared, and I thought, I hope I never run into her on the beach. And I'm not one of those girls that's into Versace and Prada and blah blah blah. And sometimes, you know, I'll get a gift, a glass, usually sunglasses or something that or designer. They're probably fake. I don't know. Or they're on sale for like $50 out of nowhere because there's something wrong with them, and I'll be like, yeah, yeah, why not? I could resell them. Okay, so I think I do have a pair of Versace sunglasses, and it's I tried to sell them and they wouldn't let me because they said they were probably fake, and whatever. Anyways, she scares me. Most of these women are kind of scary looking, and like I said, beautiful. Something's going on internally, and they're taking it out on themselves externally. All right, everyone, I love you, and if you have any suggestions, let me know. And I think I'm going to get into like child celebrities before and afters and what have you. Peace out. Okay, I forgot Priscilla Presley. There you go. She's next, and I think she's still beautiful. She doesn't look like she did when she was young, and I don't think anyone does when you hit her age. I think she's like 75 or 80. I'm not sure. But that will end this out for now, and I will talk to you soon.